and I was a chief risk officer, and I did road shows. And I know that investors want to talk to the person who is responsible for policy, look into his eyes, listen to him and say, can I trust this man? And that is far more important than what they read in newspapers. Forget Boko Haram, forget Niger Delta, forget the politics. If Nasir El-Rufai sits down with investors in New York or London or Abu Dhabi and presents a clear program for re-industrialization of Kaduna estate, shows how he's bringing electricity, how he's bringing infrastructure, how he's providing the manpower, how he's providing the security, how he's guaranteeing their returns, they will come and invest in Kaduna. But there's no way someone sitting in New York, unless he's extremely diligent, knows even about something called Kaduna. He sees Nigeria. He sees GDP declining. He sees exchange rate policies. He sees the rate of inflation. He sees Boko Haram. He sees, I mean, that is how the world works. The world works on sound bites. And he makes up his mind that, you know, if I'm going to Africa, this is a spot I'm not going into. It's for this summit and for the leadership of this state to actively say, how do I tell the Kaduna story? And you'll have to deal with other issues as well, because Nasir, you have very complex issues with religion. You have Muslim and Christian leaders who have politicized religion, and they make a lot of money out of it. And they don't mind shedding blood in order to maintain those privileges. And you need to confront that establishment. You need to make it very clear that religion is important to our lives. We are all Muslims and Christians, but religion can never be used as a tool for destabilizing our environment, for creating insecurity, and for placing the state at risk. And anybody who does not live by those rules should face the law. Which is why I support you 100% in your commitment to pursue criminally. You know, if you're an imam or a pastor and you shed blood, you are a criminal, you are a murderer. You know, no one doubts that you're an imam or a pastor. No one doubts your knowledge. But your knowledge is one thing. The act of killing a human being is not knowledge. It is a crime. And you should go to jail for it. You can be a pastor in jail. You know, so, you know, until we have governors who are ready to stand up and say, you know what, there is a limit to how much we are going to just fold our arms and allow human beings appropriate our own religions for selfish reasons and create insecurity, chase away investors, kill human beings, make life difficult for everybody. And in all this time, they're getting richer and richer. Most of them did not do, there's nothing in the wealth that they have that can be linked either to their level of education or even to their knowledge of the religions that they preach. It's all politics. And this is one good thing that I commend you for. I commend you for your investment in education. I commend you for your clear articulation of policies. I commend you for your bilateral engagement with investors. And as your friend who is more moderate than you, I urge you to be a little more moderate. to be a little more diplomatic. I have learned over time that we all have to sometimes, you know, we angry by something. There are things that you see that anger you, and you just leave, you know, and face the bigger battles. I know you like fighting every battle. As your friend, I say, identify the big ones, learn to tolerate the small ones. Pass some to your deputy governor. Which is, you know, when the Sultan sends me to represent him at functions, I always say that I'm speaking for myself and the Sultan. And the way you'll know the difference is that anything that is not controversial is from the Sultan, and the rest is from me. So I have a note here saying that it's a bit hot in the hall. I don't know if it's my speech that's making everyone hot or all those lights. But let me just sum up. I think that in summary, the growth model for Africa, for Nigeria, for the states in Nigeria has to change. Growth is not going to continue coming from rising oil prices. Growth will not come from borrowing and spending government money. Growth will come from investment. I think we should recognize that investors are both local and foreign. Aliko Dangote has invested more in Nigeria than any foreign investor. And there are many local investors. So we need to create an environment in which we attract and encourage domestic capitalists to invest. Because first, it keeps the money in Nigeria. It provides great long-term security. We can link them up with foreign partners as shareholders who would like to exit later after bringing in the technology and the skills. But we need to encourage Kaduna State indigenes, Nigerian entrepreneurs to invest in Kaduna. We need to tell the story of Kaduna and its history as the capital of northern Nigeria. Talk about the Kaduna Industrial Estate. Dr. Mutalab talked about a school called Barewa College. I'm a King's College boy. I was compelled by the Sultan to clap. For those who do not know, King's College produces all the progressive Nigerian intellectuals, and Barewa produces all the conservative northern aristocrats. And I would really encourage you to invest a lot in Barewa and try to make it look more like King's College and produce more progressive and radical northerners. We need them at this point in time. But frankly, I think that there's little to add. This is the first step. And I like the fact that you're going back to say, this is what we did last year, because accountability is important. And I do hope, for the sake of Kaduna State, that every politician in Kaduna, whether he's in Nasser's party or in another party, is watching. And I do hope that when because Nasser will leave office, if you have a vision of 2018, 2015, when Nasser leaves office, whoever steps into those shoes, from whichever political party, should just continue with this blueprint. You know, it does not hurt anyone to build on the work of his predecessor. It does not hurt anyone. And I think this is why the traditional institution in the North has survived. We all build on the works of our fathers. Nobody wants to destroy what his father has done. We see what they're doing, we build on that vision. And that's how you build a 40, 50-year vision. So I have said enough. Like I said, I have tried not to offend anyone. I apologize in advance, and I apologize again in arrears in case anyone has taken offense. I wish you all the best. Nasser, I wish Kaduna State the best. And I do hope that all the governors in the North will adopt this and will focus on this. We do need these investments. We do need investors to come in from within Nigeria and from outside. We need investments in agriculture, in industry, in power. We need to create jobs. But more important, we need the governments to focus on education, especially the girl child education, and on ICT. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.